What's going on YouTube? Is Donnie B all day. Listen, a while back you guys saw me take the Braveheart sword, which is this, and you watched me hack away some trees with it. Well, it's about that time where I'm gonna do something different with this thing, so I took it all apart, right? There's all the pieces, and I have an actual plan that I'm gonna do with this thing. I want to turn this into a 1.5 dagger. I'm gonna flip that around there. You'll be able to see what I'm looking at. This is going to be my dagger. You can see that I bent the rat tail on it already, and I have a bend there in the blade. It's supposed to be, you know, naturally the real ones are supposed to be spring steel, which, you know, I guess you can call this spring steel, where it bends and it snaps back, but it doesn't always snap back to true. You know, this is really weak stuff. These are definitely wall hangers. However, you can still use them if you're careful. I've showed you that already. But what I want to do is I'm going to take this guy right here and I'm going to knock off the ends. So I'm still going to have this right here. I already took down the leather that went to right here. There's actually no, more than that. It went to here. This is where the leather went to, and it was a full palm of leather, and then the sword started from there. As a matter of fact, you can see right here it went to there. This is where the little ring was. That was like this, a little rubber ring. So I took all that off. As you can see, the blade is really cocky under there, so I got to fix that up. But this is what I'm doing. I'm going to take this guard. I'm going to leave this because I really like that shape. I'm going to cut this off here and here. So I'm going to make a little oval, little hand guard right here, just a small one. Then what I'm going to do is, because I broke this, I'm going to cut it down to about there, and then I will put that back on there and then drill it through into a little hole inside here, maybe, or I might just glue it because I don't really need to drill it. But I'm going to put it there. I'm going to cut down the rat tail and reaffix the pommel just shorter. So it'll give me about 1 inch shorter in the handle. So, you know, my handle will be about, you know, there. And this is going to be way shorter. And then my dagger is going to look like that. And that's what I'm going to do. Since this is double-edged from this point on, this is going to be pretty much a quarter double edge. So I'm going to leave this edge there, come down to the point, but then I'm going to let this stay flat here, and then I'm going to grind all this off, which is obviously right here. All that needs to be ground down, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make myself a Braveheart 1.5 dagger, and I think that'll be pretty cool. And then I'll have all this crap to do something with. Who knows what I'll do with it? I have no idea. But that's what I'm doing. I'm tearing apart my sword. Why? Who cares? But with any luck, this is going to come out really cool. I already like the look of this shortened just like that. It doesn't need to be all leather down there. I think I'm going to like this shortened. And once it's done, it is done, and we will go through this. So stay with me through this build, and hopefully we'll come out with something cool. All right, so watch this. Hold on. All right, so since this thing is going to be just for me and for me to play around with, I don't need to make it perfect. So you can see I grinded it all down. This I probably need to do a little bit more to get rid of that line, because this line went all the way through on both sides, and I got rid of it pretty much. Gave it a chop stuff with edge, and so far I've got a pretty cool William Wallace 1.5 dagger. You can see how bent that tang is, but don't care. This is what I'm using it for. It's gonna be a little chopper. The cut was perfect. The handle is now a little over 1 inch shorter, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool indeed. So this thing went from a wall hanger sword to a cut stuff up knife, and it's a pretty cool dagger. It's a pretty cool dagger. This will sit well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the original sheath and cut that down to fit this, and it's going to be pretty wild. I'm going to sand up the blade a little bit more just so it's not all swirly like that. But all in all, it's got an edge here and an edge here, and it goes all the way, and so now I can two-hand it. gotta say, freedom! Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. Rounded off the brass really nice, so it's really smooth. That actually feels good. So I'm gonna have to take this outside and bang it into some stuff and see if this doesn't snap off. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But as it sits, I've got a William Wallace Braveheart hand-and-a-half dagger made from a crappy sword to possibly a crappy dagger. But what we'll do is we'll go outside and we'll see if we can't knock down some tree limbs and whatnot, and see if I can't use this as like a little gardening tool. And that'll be pretty cool if I can just knock away tree limbs with it. Then this will be something that no one else has as a gardening tool. And that's kind of like what I like to do. I like to just make stuff that no one else has made just for the hell of doing it. And as long as it serves a purpose, that's good. This thing's really heavy in the rear, so it's definitely not going to be a thrower. Let's see where the balance point is. Yeah, the balance point is right there. So you see all that pulls away from the front. But I'll tell you what, it's solid, man. This thing, I cut that down perfect, and that was just a fluke because I didn't measure. And I don't know. So far, so good. Let's take it outside and go see if we can't use this thing to bash through some pine or something. I don't know. Let's go play. Let's go play, y'all. Come on. All right. So as soon as I step outside, of course, it starts to get windy and it's already cold. So here's my I don't know if you get it. There you go. Here's my sheath. Right, cut down from the original. That is perfect. I do like that. Here's my crappy blade, and we're going to start with a water bottle test. And I don't even know if it's going to go through the water bottle. I got my snowman there, so he might take the backside of this hit. I don't know. Maybe I'll move it this way. All right. So let's see if we can't get through a water bottle with it. That was clean, man. All right, so two-handing that bad boy. Really went through. As you'll notice, I did not refine the blade. I just gave it more of an edge because I figured it's just for me. I'm the only one using it, so I don't really care. I didn't need to take out all the swirls. But let's go see if we can't hack through some stuff. Come on now. Okay, so we got a little bit of snow. That probably is why I'm wearing my classic Umbro shorts out here. I'm retarded. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try and hold you guys and just one-hand some stuff, kind of like that, to show that this thing cuts. Let's see if we can't get through this big guy right here. Well, I think I broke it more than cut it. So let's try something else. Make sure I got you guys in the shot. Holy mackerel. It works better as a dagger than it did as a sword because it's shorter, it's easier to control, and there's not so much wobble. Because of it, it was a cheap spring steel, really cheap spring steel. It was extra springy. So let me see, I got you guys in there. I'm going to hold it from the end this time, get a good swing. See, I wanted to see if that was going to break if I use the end. And it's cutting well. Now I'll swing a little harder. And it cuts really well. If I grip it short, let me see. If I grip it short, I should be able to have a lot better control and power. So let's see here. So this is basically what I'm doing here, guys, is showing you this. Let's say you go to your local, Asian import store or whatever in the mall, and you find one of those, swords, and you're like, oh my God, $40 for a William Wallace sword. That's great, man. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Remember, you're getting a crappy sword. However, crappy sword, you take it out and use it because a lot of guys are gonna buy this kind of thing, and they're gonna go out in the yard and play around with their friends, and they're gonna swat at thing thinking it's really cool. Then they're gonna break it and go, oh man. But guess what? If you break one of these swords, you ruin one of these swords, who cares? Just keep using it as something else. And that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Look at that. I just destroyed this handle. So guess what needs a new handle? Yeah, and I already broke the old one at the top from chopping with it. So it's no secret that this one was probably not going to be that great. Let's see. I still got a little bit more usage out of it before it completely snaps off. Let's see, am I in the shot? I can't even see, man. Okay, I can see it. Woo! I'll tell you, the blade is cutting. The blade is doing its part. The construction of the handle, that rat tail is so weak. Look at that. That is butter smooth. I gave it a pretty good edge. So that's helping. That is definitely not a stock edge. It's really hard to hold it right now. But it's cool. And so what I might have to do is, look at that. What I might have to do is new handle construction. Man, did I keep you guys in there? Look at that. So new handle construction. I might even do a whole new like angle on this thing and move the guard up a little bit and do something different, because let's see how bent it is now. Well, I'll tell you what, the build can be fun, but that doesn't mean it's great. So what I'll do is I'll take it apart, and who knows, maybe I'll do a hidden tang and make it a little bit shorter. Do a hidden tang, and that'll be really strong, because the blade itself from this distance, you can see it's a pretty good thickness. From this length, it's strong. It's as it gets longer that it gets thinner, it gets weaker. So from here, I should be all right. And if I can make it, you know, something where I'm grabbing at this angle right here, that thing's not going to break. That right there would be solid. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just use it real quick. Let's see, knock off some of the snow. So if I hold it from here where I would make another handle, it hurts my hand because there's no grip there, but you can see, oh, that's painful. You can see that it's going to be strong. The tip, oh, I almost missed, get myself in the leg. The tip is strong. The edge is holding up. So it's doing its job. Just the handle construction that it came with is just brutally cheap. Brutally cheap. Man, I'll tell you what, it's a gorgeous day out here today. There might be snow on the ground, but it's beautiful out here. Everything's melting. The dogs are running around playing. It's a good day. It's a good day to be Donnie B all day, I'll tell you that. So I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna go inside and do something over with this. Who knows what I'll do. I might put this one on the shelf and work on it later. But it was fun. It was a fun little project. It was a fail. It was a completely, it worked fail, which is weird. The blade worked well, but that rat tail I just knew wasn't going to hold up, and it didn't. So on to the next one. But it was still fun. I wonder if I can throw it. There's the stump. You guys can see that. That probably didn't help its case any. All right, so look at this. Look at this handle. That is just brutal. Let's see. Freedom. It's even doing the shake like William Wallace threw. All right, so that's it. This thing's pretty much dead from there down. The rest of it's great. So I'm gonna keep working with that. It's gonna be a fun piece eventually. But just wanted to show you guys what I had, and I like it. I like it. I don't like it. I like it. I don't like it. So that's it. Time to go inside. Maybe go to the movies. Go do something. I gotta enjoy this day somehow. Whew. I'm Donnie B all day. Woo! Till next night. Later.